Are you a woman of God who desires to build a business that makes an impact? But when it comes to your business, you struggle because you find yourself undercharging for your services. Or maybe you even feel guilty for charging for your services. If this is you, I need you to hear me loud and clearly. I once heard a quote that says, if you are struggling to pay the light bill, then it's going to be hard for you to be the light. Now, for me, that speaks volumes for sisters who are in business. Yes, we can do a lot of work in ministry that's good, that's meaningful without a lot of money. But if we're in business and we are struggling to pay the light bill, then it's going to be very difficult for us to sustain and make the impact that God has called us to. And so we are going to have a real conversation today about this subject. And I'm so excited to get into this. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Reverend Jocelyn, and I grew my ministry from a simple blog to a national Christian trauma healing business. And now I help women just like you to do the same, to answer that call for that kingdom business, for that vision that God has put on your heart. Now, if you are a first timer, I'm going to invite you to do me a huge favor, do yourself a favor actually, and slam that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. I put resources out throughout the week to help you to launch that vision, to build that business or that ministry. So be sure to subscribe. But also, if you're a first timer, I have a gift for you. I love giving out this gift. I created a ministry launch starter kit. This kit is one in which it shows you not how to just build a ministry within the walls of the church, but to build a ministry or a kingdom business that goes beyond the walls of the church. It shows you how to do the organizational structure, how to set up your marketing, how to even figure out your revenue plan or your mission. You definitely want to get access to this kit. So go ahead and visit sisterstartyourministry.com to get this free, amazing kit today. Now, also, if you're a first timer, one thing we love to do is roll call. So whether you are watching live or the replay, I want to know who is in the house. So please put in the comments. Let me know who's watching live. I see Pastor Valerie is in the house. Pastor Valerie from Chi-Town. Love seeing you, Pastor Valerie. Good to see you. We got Rod's here. Rod's, hey, Rod. So excited to have you here today. Diana, good to see you from Orlando, Florida, representing. I think I got you right in Orlando. Who else is here? Let me know in the comments who's watching live. And again, for my replay people, just put hashtag replay. I want to know you're here too, and I'm going to be talking back to you as well. But again, for those of you who are just tuning in, we are having a real conversation about how many times women in ministry, women in business, particularly women of faith, we struggle with charging our worth. Like when it comes to that time in which we are about to make an offer, we're telling people what our price is to speak on their stage or to offer a service, we just kind of shrink and just get all nervous and just palm sweaty and stuff. We're going to deal with that today because that's holding many of us back from reaching our next level. Want to give a shout out, Cynthia, so good to see you, Cynthia. Thank you for being here today. Rhonda from South Florida. Hey, Rhonda, good to see you. All right, sisters. So I see already we have a number of Christian women entrepreneurs who are on the line today. And I'm talking to you, sisters, because I know what it's like to be a woman of God who has served and worked in a church context for years. A little bit about me from first timers who don't know, I worked full time at my church for over a decade. And I had the full-time work of running the nonprofit, but I was also extremely involved in ministries to the point where there were times, ladies, where I would be at the church until midnight. There were a couple times where I spent the night at the church working overnight on projects. And obviously I wasn't getting paid for all of that, but I was committed. I was also burned out. Does anybody know what I'm talking about here? When it comes to working like crazy at your church, putting in the hours, volunteering, being on 50,000 committees. Yes, this is something that many of us know. Oh, okay, cool, cool. Chantel, I see you. Hey, Soror. Hey, Soror, I see you representing. Good to see you. I see you. Cynthia says she know all about that life. Okay, yes, working, working, working day and night. Yes, we could be out of control sometimes. And the thing is, in the church environment, that's often celebrated, right? That we are working. It shows that we're committed to the cause, not having any boundaries, giving all of our gifts to the church. And hear me, there's nothing wrong with serving. I encourage you to serve. But I think that we want to serve from a place of wellness, and it's important to have boundaries. And I'm bringing this up because for many of us, we are used to doing and serving and serving and serving in the church context, and in that context is often volunteer based. But I'm willing to wager that oftentimes what we can end up doing is we can take our values and our beliefs from the context of serving in church, and then we take that into the marketplace with us, meaning into our business, and we struggle to actually then charge for doing services. Am I talking to anybody right now? Rhonda, you a soror too? Yes, so roar. So, but who am I talking to? Who am I talking to right now? Who you know that is like when it comes to business, you struggle to charge your worth. Well, for me, I know I was really having some challenges there because when I started my faith based business, it was Christian trauma healing work. I was looking at it from a standpoint of I just wanted to serve, I just wanted to help people. And so, with that, my prices for classes and services that took me hours, I'm talking about 20, sometimes 30 hours to do. Rhoda said, yes, me. Yes, yes. This is one of those things where I would be working hours on projects and I'm charging people $100. And like, if you can't pay it, it's okay, or scholarships. And let me tell you, again, there's nothing wrong with service and volunteering. But if you are in business and you're spending hours offering a service and you're charging like little pennies, sister, you're not going to be in business long. And so this is one of those things where, again, point that I want to make here is some of the beliefs and values that served you well in a church context can actually work against you in business. Okay, that's point number one. All right. And in that, we have to understand, even as women of God, we are worth our wages. Is nothing wrong with being compensated. In fact, it is only fair to be compensated for your work when you're doing this work in business. Let's look at this. Luke 10:7. Stay there eating and drinking whatever they give you, for the worker deserves his or her wages. And I'm going to be building upon this because many of you, I don't even know if you fully understand your worth. All right. And sometimes we struggle with that. We struggle to really understand our value, right? And I want you to kind of think about that. I want you to think about the value that you bring to the table. And I actually have 3 E's that's going to help you to understand your value. All right. And I encourage you to talk back to me in the comments and also write some of these things down, because now this is a reflective exercise that we're about to go through. And I'm seeing you all talk. You said, charge the church. The church will pay or at least negotiate a reasonable Yes, that's right, Chantel. Thank you, Soror. That's right. And Pastor Barry says, hard part saying it out loud. Yes. Diana said, talking to me. That's right. That's right. So, okay. So, sisters, the first E that I really want you to consider, I want you to think about, is education. Okay. For some of you, you have invested at a high level into education to know what you know. For some of you, you have degrees upon degrees upon degrees. Okay, so you invested in that. And even if you have not gone to a university, you might have certification after certification that you've invested in to know what you know. How many of you right now can say that you've invested in education to be able to have knowledge in the field that you are working in for your business? Okay, so that's the first E, right? That many of you have that is valuable. But say, for instance, Pastor Valerie says student loans. Help me, Jesus, help me. Cynthia, I know you have, Cynthia. You've done the work, right? And so you have the education. That is something that you invested in. That's the first E. All right. Let's talk about the second E, and that's your experience. Let's put in the comments for me, experience. You have experience in many areas as relates to your business. And it could be your kingdom business. It could be something that you're writing a book on or you're speaking on. I know, Cynthia, you wrote a book dealing with your lived experience that can minister to others. Many of you are authors or future authors here. You live this stuff out. Rhonda says many years that you have experience and you have the education. Yes, you have the experience, and that's something that's extremely valuable, because there's one thing to have the book knowledge, which is valuable, by the way. But when you combine that also with lived experience, it allows for you to be able to connect with people on a deeper level, to say, I've been there. I live this. This is not just theory. I know what I'm talking about. Hey, Sheila, welcome to the conversation, Sheila. We're talking about how that you have experience or education, and that allows for you to say that your services are valuable. But there's one other E that we are looking at. All right. I wonder if you can guess what that last E is. Anybody can guess what that last E? To help you to understand the value of your services. We said the first E was education. The second E was experience. All right, I'm seeing some things in the chat here. Yep. So you already lived the years. Yep. So the last E is expertise. I think for some of us, we actually shy away from saying this word. Like, we're like, am I really an expert? Like, I don't know. Rhonda, you're an expert. I'm just calling you out by name, just so you know. You're an expert in what you do. Okay. That's what you have. You have the education. You have many years that you've been doing your work. Many of you have expertise in the area that you're offering services. But saying that just might make us feel uncomfortable to own the fact that we have expertise. But when we understand that we have expertise, it puts us in a place where we can own that, where we can actually charge the value of what we're bringing to the table. Do you all get this? Okay. Thanks for the word. You are welcome. Dr. Arlene's in the house. Love it. And yes, that's right. The experience, education, experience, and expertise are the three E's, ladies. And for many of you, you have all three. And yet you doubt yourself. And yet sometimes you feel like an imposter. And yet you struggle to charge your worth. Sis, where is that coming from? What is causing you to doubt the value that you bring to the table? I just want you to think about this for a second. I want you to think about the people who are your assignment, who you are best equipped to serve. Is it a single mom? Is it someone who's grieving? Is it someone who's gone through divorce? Is it someone who's gone through sexual trauma? Is it a church to help them to develop a drama program? What is it? I want to actually see this in the comments. Who are the people who you are best equipped to serve through your kingdom business? Let me know. Let me know. I'm waiting to hear from you, okay? I want you to put this in the comments for me, because the next step, the next question is, if you were able to offer services, if you were able to work with them to help them to experience healing from sexual trauma, Cynthia, to help them to be able to navigate some of those life challenges, to be able to start that ministry, to start that program. Maybe you're a coach, maybe you're a transformational speaker. I want you to think about the transformation that someone will experience as a result of working with you. What is the transformation that someone will experience when they work with you? I love that. Rhonda says, my people are saints and ain'ts who want to share their performing talents. I love that. All right. Diana says, educate, equip, and empower advocates and survivors of sexual assault. Oh, so important. Yes. Yeah, we're looking at target markets here. That's right. Women, females age 17 and up. All right. So think about this, sisters. What is the transformation that people will experience? And in some cases, the type of transformation is so powerful, it's literally priceless. And when you think about this, my coach actually put me through an exercise to put this in perspective. I am blessed to coach women from across the country to help them to start their purpose-driven businesses, their faith-based businesses or ministries. And I take years of experience, years of hard knocks and lessons, and I am able to take all the stuff I invested, over $100,000 in coaching programs. I'm able to take that and share it with the women who I coach, to save them time, to save them money, to save them some tears. And my coach asked me, he said, Jocelyn, if you were able to just download to these women the knowledge that you have to save them some of those struggles, to save them some of the mistakes from your experience, from your education, how valuable would it be to transform their lives so they can live out their purpose? And I'm like, that is extremely valuable, extremely valuable. I mean, to the point where it will save them thousands and thousands of dollars of worry and time. Same is true for you. What you do is valuable, and the price that you paid for it. There's a song for CeCe Winans, The Alabaster Jar. Are you all familiar with that song? Think about that. People don't know the cost of your oil. People don't know the cost of what it took for you to get to where you are today, for you to get to this place of healing, for you to get to this place where you're writing books, where you're developing programs, where you are out here doing this work. People don't know the cost. You know the cost, and still you're afraid to stand in your power. And so I see you, sisters. I see you right now. And this is one of those things where I'm challenging you. I'm calling you out, to call you up, to say no more undervaluing your services. I see, Cynthia, those who have gone through and experienced sexual trauma, to help them to find their purpose. Yes, I love that. And see, when we think about where God is leading you right now, in order for you to make an impact that's long-term, you have to be around long enough to do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? See, if you're at a place where you continue to give from your business without having a way of generating revenue to be able to then reinvest back in the services, you won't be sustainable. And this is a problem that I see a lot of sisters struggle with. I was talking to a sister who I coach. I'm going to give her a name. Let's call her Janice. And Janice, amazing. She is educated. She has the 3 E's: education, experience, expertise. This sister's bad to the bone, okay? She knows what she's doing. And she has a training program. And in this training program, it is in a field where, in some context, people charge, particularly some men, like those programs that are offered by men. It might be Caucasian men who are offering these programs. They will charge upwards of $10,000, $15,000 for the service that she offers. However, she has not been charging a fraction of that. She's been charging around $2,500 for the same service, and she probably does it a lot better than most. And in digging and talking to her, it was a fear of people not wanting to pay for her services, and a belief that people would not pay her value. And oftentimes she's done something that I see a lot of sisters do, and that is she would offer scholarships and discounts to people before they even ask. Am I talking to anybody? Because I definitely have done that. I'd be like, oh, they can't afford it. Let me just give them a discount. Let me give them the hookup. Who am I talking to? I know, because I've definitely done that. And see, here's what I've learned. Oftentimes, we'll project our own financial limitations onto someone else and say, well, if I feel like I can't afford that, or I struggled to afford this in the past, they must not be able to afford it. So I'm just going to give them a discount. And thinking about the fact that for us to offer quality services, sister, if you are operating on a shoestring budget, you are not going to be able to really pour into the infrastructure to be able to level up your services. And it's one of those things, is a ripple effect, because at the end of the day, after you pay for all of your expenses, you could barely pay yourself. And then you actually are at risk, hear me, of no longer liking or loving what you're called to do because you're so stressed out financially. Who am I talking to? If this is you, I'm telling you that we want to be mindful of the fact that when we are making ourselves as business owners sacrificial lambs, not charging our worth and not helping people to see the value of your services, the value of your time, Cynthia, the value of your time, Dr. Arlene, the value of your expertise, the transformation that you bring, Chantel. If we don't help people to fully understand this, then we're going to end up cheating ourselves every time. And we won't be able to lead and build something that goes beyond us. Don't you want to build something that it's not just ends with you, it goes beyond us. It transforms lives for generations. I believe that's in you. I believe that there's books in you. I believe that there's programs that will outlast your life. But in order for that to take place, we have to be able to build the infrastructure financially for this. And we also have to be able to stand in our power and know our worth. Do you know your worth, Cynthia? Do you know how valuable you are, Rhonda? Do you understand what you're able to bring to the table? Dr. Arlene, who won like a White House award for all the things that you do. You are amazing. But somewhere along the way, we struggle to fully recognize our value. And so I'm challenging you in this, sisters, to understand that what you're doing is valuable, to know your worth. Proverbs 18:16 talks about a gift opens the way and ushers the giver into the presence of the great. You have so many gifts. I'm jumping up and down because I need this to resonate with you. I want you just to edify yourself right now. I want you to put in the comments for me some of the gifts that you know God gave you, Chantel. Some of the gifts that you know God gave you, Valerie. I know one of your gifts already, Valerie, is writing. You're an incredible writer. Talk about the gifts that God has given you, the creative gifts, Rhonda, that God has given you that will make room for you. So you don't have to be in a place where you're struggling and lack. But you have to know how valuable what you bring in the marketplace is, sister. That's what makes a difference. And you also have to make a decision. Going back to what I said earlier, you have to make a decision on, are you operating this as a business? Okay? Because yes, there's opportunity for you to do ministry on a volunteer basis. That's something that we do all the time, right? Oftentimes within a church setting, within the four walls, within our church community. But there's also marketplace ministry, meaning a business, a kingdom business. And if you are operating a business, there has to be sustainable revenue for you to be able to do it. I want you to understand, sister, that there is the opportunity for purpose and profit to coexist. They don't have to cancel out each other. They can exist and belong together in a great way because your motives are still pure. In everything that you're doing, you still want to glorify God. You still want to help people. You still want to transform lives. I see that. Let's look at amazing gifts in the chat. We got Sheila, who loves to speak. Rhonda, the gift of administration, discernment, playwriting. Oh, I love that, Rhonda. Workshops, preaching, teaching, author. Pastor Valerie, thebomb.com says, you got all these gifts. 50 years. Diana, 50 years of experience. Creative, analytical. You got something, Soror, that's amazing. Because if you are able to combine the creative and analytical together, that is amazing. Plus technology with what's going on with AI, come on. We got author, teaching, speaking, administration. I've seen you, Cynthia, in action. Yes. Those are amazing gifts. Fundraising, Sheila, come on. Dr. Arlene, teach, encourager, creativity. Yes. State those gifts. Know that is something that could be used as a business to help you to further your impact. Let's look at Proverbs 31:18. She sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out at night. Sister, the Proverbs 30 woman, she was handling her business. She knew how to invest. She knew how to make a profit. And she is famous. All of us know about the Proverbs 31 woman, right? And so as we look at this, girls rock this. That's right, Pastor Valerie. As we look at what God is calling us to in this season, I'm challenging you, sisters, to stop shrinking. I want you to put that in the comments for me. Stop shrinking and start standing in your power. Start standing in the gifts that God has given you. I'm looking at this list of gifts and it just brings me so much joy. Don't you know who you are as a daughter of the Most High God? That's right. Cynthia says, I'm going to stop shrinking. Cynthia is going to stand in her power. Who else is going to stand in your gifts? That's right, Rhonda. That's right. And understand that some people, as you grow, as you mature, they might not be able to afford you after some time. And that's okay. That's okay, because there's other services that could be offered for them that's lower tier. And I'm getting into some things that I talk about with my coaching clients, because it's a process in developing your pricing structure. You cannot give away the kitchen sink for $1.99. Okay? You just can't. And you can't take 50, 75 speaking engagements and be running all over town for $50 each. At some point, when you get into demand and people know how amazing you are going to have to be more selective in what you take on, and it's okay because you want to know your worth. I love this. From silent disappointment to clear direction. That's awesome. I'm not shrinking for anyone. I know that's right. Stand in your power. So, sisters, as we are about to wrap up our time, I'm going to challenge you to really think about those limiting beliefs that you've had about charging for services that no longer serve you. What beliefs are you going to let go of today? And you can actually put that in the comments for me. Which beliefs have you had? Maybe about charging, maybe even feeling guilty about charging, maybe doing everything for free, maybe discounting people before they even ask for it. What are the beliefs that you've had that no longer serve you, that you're going to release, that you're not going to hold on to? Sheila says she's rising to the occasion. I want you to proclaim that in the comments for me, okay? And understand that this is a journey. You build your confidence over time after you put in the reps and do the work. And sometimes you're going to have to make an offer to someone where you increase your prices, and you're going to be scared to death. I know when I've gone up on my prices, there's times in which in my chest, my heart's beating. I'm like, oh Lord, I'm scared. They're gonna think I'm crazy. But I say it with a straight face. And because I know I put in the work. I'm in a place where I'm operating in integrity because of the value that I am able to bring. And so Sheila said, well, Dr. Rhonda says that the church cannot afford my services. I need to structure my services where they are. Structure my services for where they are. Love that. No more discounts. Dr. Arlene says, stop shrinking. All right. Cynthia says that I can't charge a certain amount because my business is new. Well, Cynthia, that's the thing. It depends now, sis. I'm so glad you being honest here. Because yes, you do have to get some things under your belt. But for some of you, you might have come to the table with your business with a lot of experience. And so, yes, your business might be new, but is your experience new? That's my question for you. Because, like, for example, Diane, she has 50 years of experience doing what she's done. She might decide she starts a business tomorrow. And although her business is new, her experience is not. So think about those 3 E's. Don't think about it just from a timeline of your business. Think about the value and the transformation that you bring to the table. How are lives going to be changed, Cynthia, by someone working with you? What can you do to make a change for someone? What would you pay to have someone? Think about yourself. The same question my coach asked me. Cynthia, if you were able to talk to the younger version of yourself 5-10 years ago to help you to navigate what you help people today to navigate, how much would you pay for that? How much would that be worth? Think about that when you come to the table to talk about pricing your services, and understand that this is extremely valuable. Sisters, I'm going to push back on those limiting beliefs. Does anybody else want to put one in the chat that you are struggling with? Let's talk about it. Because again, you are valuable. And I want you to stand in that. Pastor Valerie says, when you speak the intention, move from resentment to responsibility to leadership to clear direction. Good news is in the fixable. Okay, she's dropping some gems. I love it. Diana says, I had a former boss donate to my ministry 5,000. Oh my gosh. That's amazing, Diana. That's awesome. And that's one of those things too, asking for the numbers, letting people know about the value of your cause, getting donors. That is so good. And Cynthia, I'm so glad, sis, you received me pushing back, because I think you're amazing. And I want you to know your worth and the value of what you bring to the table. Now, sisters, I want you to share with me the biggest takeaway that you got from our time together tonight. If you could put that in the comments, I want to know, what is your biggest takeaway? Sora says, I'm no longer worrying about whether the church organization can afford it. Maybe the charge is per class with the deposit to secure their slot. I like that, Sora. That's good. Pastor Valerie says, that is awesome. You rock, sister. Yes, right. That's right. All right. Good, good, good. Now, sisters, if you were blessed by this, I'm going to ask you to pay this episode forward by doing a couple things. First, you have a couple girlfriends who you know who are trying to launch a faith based business. Share it with them. Share this with at least 3 girlfriends. All right. Have them subscribe because I actually have a couple episodes that I talk about funding your business in ministry. And I'm going to be talking about pricing as well. So make sure you share this with your girlfriends, share with 3, and be sure to subscribe because I don't want you to miss any of the resources I'm putting out there. Also, if you are a sister you're at a place where you're like, man, I've been playing small, like I've been hiding, I have not been really charging my value or my worth, then I want to invite you to schedule a one-on-one with me where we can kind of talk this through. We can help you to like move beyond the fear that's holding you back and help you to actually get to a place where you come up with your signature offer and you design your next steps. Rods, can you drop this in the chat for me? And let's make sure our sisters know how to schedule this breakthrough call. This is also a link is in the notes. If you're watching this, the replay or live, you can see a link to schedule a breakthrough call in the notes. But just go to revjocelyn.com/breakthrough-session to schedule a time for us to sit down together and really design your next steps. Okay, Rods, be sure to drop that in the comments for me. I'm going to just bring a couple things up. Awesome. I have the 3 E's. My gifts will transform and I will serve and I'm worth it. No more shrinking. Love this. All right, encouragement and rethinking. All right, stop giving away my services. Biggest takeaway for you is the entire content. That's awesome. The 3 E's stood out. That's so good. So good. Pastor Valley says you have the power of choice. State that is okay and it's not okay. People they don't know the cost of your oil. That is right. So good. So good. Yes. So sisters, again, and this is only for those who are at a place where they really want to have some one-on-one time with me to help you to take that next step. Go ahead and click on this link. I have limited spots for this, but you can schedule a breakthrough call with me where we're going to help you to take your next step as it relates to your kingdom business and the vision that God has put on your heart. Oh, love it. Yes, no more shrinking. That's good. Sisters, remember everything that we share today. Remember that you are worth so much. You have the ability to create transformation in someone's life. So no more playing small, no more hiding. And I look forward to walking and journeying with many of you on the next step of this journey. Okay. So ladies, God bless you so much. Thank you for hanging out with me. A special shout out to all my first timers today. It is so great spending time with you. So thank you. Thank you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you next week, same time, same channel, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, as we gather together to help you to build that vision that God has put on your heart. I will see you next week, sisters. God bless you. Thank you for being here.